It's movie night here at Pod and Deliver, where we review movies through the eyes of teachers. And today we're talking about the 2003 movie School of Rock. It stars Jack Black as a slacker musician who thinks that he can make some easy bucks by teaching a bunch of fourth graders. And he does it by impersonating his roommate, who's a substitute teacher. Don't ever do that, people. Don't do that. It's not good. And it's a really good movie. Even as I watched it again, I thought this film is really well directed. I thought about the skill of the director who could take these kids between 10 and 11 years old and get such good performances out of them, both in terms of acting and also they're playing. They're playing instruments, they're singing, and anybody who's worked with kids through directing a children's play knows how difficult that is. And even teaching these kids that young, getting them to do something in a group is work. And this is masterfully done. And also the director had to work with the other big kid, Jack Black. I would have to put an asterisk by his name because I know some people look at him. I put him in this category. It's probably unfair of me to do that, but those 90s actors who some people find very obnoxious, Jim Carrey, Adam Sandler, Chris Farley, it's probably unfair for me to do that. I think he's much better than those guys, Jack Black, but at least in those 90s versions of them. But I think he did, he doesn't annoy me, and I think he does well here. And I just, we can go into the authentic part right now, but I really like by the way, the director is Richard Linklater.
I think he did Slackers, the movie. And
absolutely, yeah. And he did Before Sunrise, or I get the Sunrise Sunset movies confused.
Dazed and Confused, I believe.
Dazed and Confused. And so I like that this movie takes children seriously. Now I get, and in a way that the characters are sad. These students are sort of dealing with some serious issues. Right. It's almost like a Breakfast Club for fourth graders.
Yeah.
So I really liked it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I am really surprised. As I'm watching it, I'm thinking, wow, I don't know if Ruben's going to like this. And because I liked it, and let me tell you why, because Jack Black is such a physical actor, and he's jumping around, and he's acting silly. I said, I wonder if that's too silly for Ruben, or at least he might not appreciate it so much, because it's a little silly, but it's Jack Black. It's really, I think it's his real first big film. Where after this, I think he was in demand, right? And so, but like you shared, the kids were likable, and we've done some movies where right away the kids are not likable. But right here, we really have compassion for them because we see a little bit of their home life, how the parents are talking to them, or the expectations the school and the parents have on these kids. So you start feeling from right away. And then for him, obviously, we won't talk about authenticity yet, but with him, just the way he goes about it, he's just fun. And he always treats everybody kind of like his equal. He doesn't really talk down to the kids, but we could talk more about that in a minute. But if you're asking me if I liked it or not, I enjoyed it. And we'll talk about the authenticity, but I enjoyed, the time went quickly. I enjoyed seeing it. I don't think I've seen it in years. I guess it came out in 2003, you mentioned. And so seeing it again, I was like, wow, it still holds up for 2021.
So sometimes, I'm hesitant to say this, but sometimes when I see a movie with a lot of kids, I get thrown out of it because some of the performances might be pretty terrible, but not in this film. Again, the director really shot it well. Kids' performances were pretty strong, some stronger than others, but I really like that they dealt maturely with the personalities, that they're different. They're not just this room full of fourth graders. What does that mean? Who are these kids? But you have Zach, this guitarist who is, fourth grader, 10-year-old, who is dealing with issues regarding parent, involvement, too strong,
Mm-hmm.
too demanding. Then you have the character played by Miranda Cosgrove.
Mm.
She is teacher's pet, and it has that own. You kind of want to say, don't be so pleasing. You don't always have to please, but it's fun to see the dynamics of the different characters, and that it's well written by Mike White, who plays Ned Sheebley, the first Ned Sheebley in the film.
Yeah, right.
So I thought it was really well thought through.
Yeah. Well, how about the authenticity now? Is this something that, we're talking about teachers? He's a teacher, a substitute teacher. Is this real in our world today?
Yeah. Yes. I think. I mean, you have to suspend some of the disbelief how he was able to impersonate this without getting caught. That's a mark against it, maybe. The admin would have been a little bit more. I know they had a lookout system where when the admin comes, so they addressed the issue of why wasn't this guy caught as he impersonated a teacher. He was doing it for almost a month. So maybe a knock against that. But here's a couple of authentic pieces for me. That he likes kids and he takes them seriously. Yeah. He doesn't condescend to them. Now, I know he uses them in a way, but kids like to feel needed and productive. So he uses them for a band to join a $20,000 paid gig or prize. But the kids enjoyed it because they are needed. They're productive.
They're being taken seriously. They're being talked to like adults in a way. He talks to them just like he would talk to his friends. Yeah.
There's a tendency not to do that.
Yeah. Well, I felt like maybe it was a little inauthentic regarding taking the kids on a field trip without really getting their parents' permission. I know you have to suspend belief on that. However, if you do that, really, the thing I felt like sharing to myself, and I was thinking to myself when I was watching, was like, you know what can I learn here? And just watching him talk to the children. There's this one young girl who sings, has a beautiful voice. She's a little heavy set, and she goes, "Oh, I don't feel like doing it because I'm big." And he's like, "What? You're like a rock star. You sing great." He goes, "And you know what? Let's be honest. He's like, I'm heavy too, but you know what? When I'm on stage, I'm just going for it." And she's like, "Oh wow, that's right." So she started relating to him, and I thought it was beautiful.
He sat down. He sat down to talk to her. He sat down to talk to the Asian kid who felt uncool. Yeah. Who felt kind of disliked, and he took him serious, and he gave him that Yes CD. I think it was Yes. Oh, yeah. And he could practice the keyboards. Really nice moment there. Also, I wanted to point out something with the Miranda Cosgrove, the teacher's pet. Yeah. Notice the delight that the kid had with the smallest little praises. Right. She would sit up when he said, "Oh, nice answer, Summer." Yeah. And she would smile. And that's so true to kids. Sometimes the smallest things, especially if you're not one quick to praise, when you do offer it and it's meaningful to them, it makes a big difference.
How about the other kids who were not part of the rock band, but they were doing other pieces?
They all had
gave them a part. At first, I thought he was just throwing it at them, like, just do this. And maybe he was, but he eventually went back and he would check in on them. "How are you doing here?" She thought, "Oh, wow, you're doing," and then a couple kids were doing this great light show. And he goes, "What?" He's watching it, and the security, these kids were getting into it like adults, and he was letting them go with it. But he would check up on them, and he would see how, and he would give them praise, or he would say, "Oh, maybe try this." Or one kid was doing designing outfits. He goes, "Well, we could go a different direction." But he didn't say, "Oh, you're terrible." He would say, "Well, I don't know, let's try something else." But I thought that was great. He didn't demean them. He didn't make them feel like they were less than the band. It felt like they were all on the same, plane.
One last thing. There's a teaching strategy here that is excellent, and that is he gets the guitar. We talked about this in Waiting for Superman, and he teaches accidentally. He stumbles upon it because the principal walks in, and he gets the guitar and he goes, "Math is a wonderful thing." And, he's singing to them and he's teaching math concepts. And even though he stumbled upon it accidentally, it's a great teaching strategy, to which the admin says, "That's an unusual strategy." And I was thinking, no.
But she liked it, though. I mean, I felt like
Did she?
I don't know. I felt like she thought it was unusual, but she didn't say stop doing it. Or he made up a thing like, "Oh, well, I learned it from this doctor, somebody," which obviously was a joke. But yeah, I mean, I think sometimes we do stumble on that, don't we? On things when we're teaching, like, "Oh, I'm gonna try
we're
that."
Impersonating teachers, and admin walks in, and we're trying to hide it, and I don't think we quite stumble on it like that, but sometimes.
But yeah,
something will inspire us. Yeah, and we'll want to go that direction. So we both recommend it highly, and
I'm surprised.
Jack Black is. I like Jack Black.
What should they do, Ruben? Should they press a button?
I was about to say it, but
Oh,
don't forget to like the video, people.
yes.
It really helps the algorithm on this YouTube channel. Anyway, you can also hit the notification bell, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
The movie.